Hey guys, Pastor Ross here from the ChristianWell.org, Simply Worship Church. Today, I'm out here reading my Bible in the beautiful garden in the shade because it's 100 degrees every day now here in Savannah, Georgia. Anyway, I ran across a scripture and I want to share this with you guys because I think it's very, very important and I think you need to know about it. So it's from Luke chapter 4, verses 9 and 10. Real short, 2 sentences. I just want to share it with you. This is when Jesus was out in the desert being tempted by the enemy for 40 days. You all know the story. It says, "And he brought him to Jerusalem and set him on the pinnacle of the temple. And he said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written." Yeah, this is Satan talking to Jesus. He said, "For it is written, he shall give his angels charge over thee and keep thee." And this is Satan talking to Jesus, and Satan knows the scriptures. Satan knows the scriptures, and he's repeating them back to Jesus. Jesus already knows the scripture, and what did Jesus say? He said, "It is said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God." But I think this is important that you guys know this, that Satan and demons are real, and also they know the scripture. Just because somebody's up here preaching to you, do not automatically believe them. They know the scripture, but they don't know it 100%. They'll turn it or twist it in the way that they want. Just like Satan did here. He was turning it and twisting it to make Jesus jump off of there, to make his angels, lift Jesus up and not crash to the ground. But he always twisted. Adam and Eve, whenever Eve was about to bite the apple, she said, God said not to do that. But the devil told Eve, did God really say that? Of course God really said that. Of course Satan knows the scriptures. Of course demons know the scriptures. So my brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to tell you is don't believe every spirit just because they're up at the pulpit preaching. Don't necessarily believe them. You need to check it for yourself. And I preach about this all the time, and I'm going to continue to preach about it. Read it for yourself. Even this guy here could be telling you lies, and you would not know it unless you read it for yourself. But what I'm saying is don't believe every spirit. Just because they're sitting there preaching, or just because they're talking about the Lord, does not mean they know the Lord. I have met so many people, even pastors, that can rattle off scripture left and right. They got it memorized. They can just rattle it off. They know the numbers, John 3:16 or whatever, which everybody knows that one. But I'm just saying they can know the numbers. They rattle them off left and right. But they may know the scripture, but they don't necessarily know the Lord. So what I'm telling you is I want you to get to know the Lord. Don't just know the scriptures. Don't just memorize the scriptures. Yes, it's good to do that. It's good to know the scriptures to be able to fight back against the enemy. But you can know all the scriptures in the world. But if you don't put them into practice, what good are they? What good are they? This is the only book that will actually change your life. I'm not kidding. It will change you. And it will change you for the better the more you read it. But you have to put them into practice. You can read it and say, love thy neighbor. But then, if you don't love thy neighbor, what good is it? So my brothers and sisters, read your word. Develop that relationship for yourself. Don't count on anybody else. Don't trust anybody else to tell you what it says. Find out for yourself.